I got to talk. I got to tell what I feel. I got to talk about my life as I see it. Biggie.
Oh, snap, son. Can you guys hear me?
Sure can.
Can everybody hear me? You guys ready? Ready? We just wanted to welcome everybody. I don't know. I'm just trying something new. It's me, and Paul's not here. Hey, man, this is perfect. Okay, let me see. Oh, the background music. Can I get it louder if I wanted? Oh, I like it. All right. Let's get serious. We've been dilly-dallying. We've been dilly-dallying long enough here.
For like 30.
Yeah.
Something like that.
35.
It's been a minute.
We've been dilly-dallying. Yeah, we've been pretty busy. I mean, what is it? It's March 1st. Okay, March 1st.
Killer.
Has it been 3 weeks? 2? Wasn't the whole month of February, was it? I hope not.
No.
Probably like 3 weeks. I don't know. Something like that.
Oh,
Anyways,
okay.
it's good to see everybody's faces there. Yeah, I guess let me get it going without any further ado. Let me go ahead and get the intro going here. It's like my favorite thing to do in the whole every time we record. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, let me welcome you to your favorite podcaster's favorite podcast. This is Get It How You Live with a U. And it's your homeboy Saul. I've got Emily and I've got Ross with me.
Yo.
Lovely faces. Let me do hold on. Lovely face. Ready? Pow! Lovely face. All right.
He only complimented your face though, Ross, earlier.
No, I said lovely. Oh, whatever.
Just for the record.
Listen, don't be a hater.
For real, don't be a hater. I don't get many compliments around these parts.
Don't be a hater.
Let me enjoy this.
Oh man. Yeah, like I was saying just a few seconds ago, it's March 1st. I guess we've missed a couple weeks. So much has happened. I feel like so much happens on a weekly basis. I just don't even sometimes I don't even know where to start. I take notes throughout the week and I have them all here, but it doesn't even matter because by the time I look at it and I'm like, this is like, I don't even know what to think about this because something more ridiculous has happened. Anyways, we'll get to this stuff in a second, but it's been a couple of weeks. How's everybody been? How are you guys doing? Let me go around the room here. I'll start with M. M, what's up? How from DC? How's the weather? Is it snowing still? What's going on? Are you okay? Connie's kid.
Actually, I was talking to her yesterday, and she was like, "Yeah, is Saul still doing that podcast of his?" And I was like, "Tell me how you don't listen."
Yes.
Mom, I'm on it.
Yeah. Yes. It is not snowing. It was actually so warm today. I wore shorts. Okay. It got above 60, but tomorrow it's back down to 30 something. So short-lived. It's very sad. But it's pretty bleak up here. Pretty much every single one of my friends is being impacted in some way by the new administration. A lot of my friends have already lost their jobs. A lot of my friends will be losing their jobs. The running joke in my friend group is like, I'm the only one with job security because even if the Republicans succeed in getting rid of no-fault divorce, there will always be rich white men that need to get divorced. So I will always have a job, but I'm the only one with any job security in my friend group. So it's pretty bleak. We did my birthday's on Christmas, which means it's really hard to plan a birthday in any timely fashion. So
should have been born on the same day as Jesus.
Well, he wasn't actually born on my birthday, so you know. But anyway,
Yeah, bro, we know that like Palestinian winters are way too harsh for anybody to be out there. I think the
however,
Boondocks taught us that.
Christ mass.
So my friends and I were gonna do my birthday in February because it was like when everybody could schedule everything, and we changed the plan like 3 different times because people kept losing their jobs. So I kept like downgrading the cost, and then eventually we're just like, well, we're just gonna go do cards and game night at a friend's house instead. Like, it's bleak, but yeah.
Ross, I don't know how you follow something like that. I'm kidding.
No, you just shit. It's bleak, like she says. I'm okay. I'm actually happy because my son got into the school that he tried out for. So
Okay.
that's good. You know what I'm saying? Osceola County School for the Arts, School of the Arts,
Oh,
School of Arts. Yeah,
Nice.
so he got into OXA, so shout out to him.
okay.
Aside from that, I mean, just treading through, trying to make it day to day. I think we got a chance to hang out. My boy, around the same, I think it was like on the 15th, right? Homie's birthday.
Yeah, Nardos.
So we went out for that. So that was fun. And it's just ain't not too crazy. Right now I'm on my phone because you know how like my name right now is Yozi Barbecue Movie. All right,
Mhm.
so maybe not because I was on the phone.
Oh
and
no, it is. Hold on.
No.
Wait. I thought it was gonna. Why isn't it showing up on the bottom? All right, let me work on that while we come back to this. Anyway, go ahead. Yes.
The reason why I'm saying maybe not is because apparently an account from this guy named Kim Ives, which he's an alleged reporter, but he's saying that Jimmy Cherizier just got back to him. So literally he spoke to him. So
He lives.
and so he's alive. And Jimmy Chase is saying that what ended up happening was that the National Haitian Police flew 2 exploding drones into a house in Delma 6, which is a neighborhood in Port-au-Prince, where he cares for handicapped kids, and several kids were wounded, but no one was killed. So Jimmy Chase lives on. Barbecue Pamui. So yeah. Oh, so I gotta finish. So now I gotta change my name too. So now I gotta change my name.
All right. I'll go back. You can change it. Let me see.
No, you can. No, you can.
All right, bet.
You can leave it on.
There we go. Fresh out of Forks. That's pretty good. That's hilarious.
Did you hear about how the government is censoring free speech with the fork emoji on Slack? Did you hear about this?
No, I don't. We don't use Slack. Thank God. I used to use Slack, but now we use Teams, I guess, for work.
You know the fork reference from Elon? Do you know the?
No idea.
So when Elon, I'm going to go back like 2.5 weeks, right? So when Elon sent out the email to all the federal employees asking them to all resign, right? The subject line of the email was fork in the road, which was the same subject line he used with his Twitter employees asking them to all quit, right? So the fork in the road email goes out to all federal employees asking them to resign and to submit their resignation within that time frame. Well, the federal workers who decided to become the resistance, they started putting spoon emojis in all of their government profiles. So like all of their Slack profiles would have their name with a spoon emoji. And despite the fact that the First Amendment applies first and foremost to the government, they have been they've been removing the spoon emoji from government Slack accounts. So they no longer have the fork emoji. The spoon emoji.
What? You're kidding me?
No.
Yo, that's G.
That's so petty.
That's so petty, but it's also infringement of free speech, like black and white, clear cut.
Oh, 100%.
So.
100%. That's. I mean, there's so much going on with this guy. The 5 bullet point email thing.
Yeah.
One of our friends got. That's crazy. I wasn't expecting that.
Any federal employee got it. So
yeah.
Anyway, your week. How was your week?
Yeah,
past weeks.
I really can't complain. You know what? Shout out early shout out to Ashley. It was her birthday. I'm not sure if I said it last time, but I went to Busch Gardens. What was it, last week or a couple weeks ago? Maybe 2 weeks ago. I forget. We were celebrating Ashley's birthday. So shout out to everybody that was there: Mary, Miguel, and Corey. Keeping it. Corey's a real dude. I used to work with this guy at my old company. He's one of the only people that I liked there at that old job. But he's definitely a good co-pilot in the sense of like keeping the vibes and like the music going. Very never let him know your next move type of person. That kind of energy. So it was pretty funny. But so shout out to that whole group. But work's kind of ramping up. Let me see. Nothing too crazy. Honestly, I don't want to dampen the mood, but I do have to give another heavenly birthday shout out to my dad. Actually, it's his birthday today. Funny enough. So yeah, I think he would have been 66.
Crazy.
Like that. Yeah, but so yeah, just been a chill day. Nothing too crazy, and it's been a chill week. Nothing too wild. I mean, just minus all the news. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Like this podcast might turn into a little bit of a confession for me because I've been going after people pretty hard. You know what I mean with this stuff. In terms of sending them links and sending them messages, DMs and stuff like that. It's crazy. I was having and not to get off subject here, but I did want to bring this up. I kind of wanted to hear what you guys would have to say about this, and I want to hear your answer as well to the question. I was recently asked this by somebody that I care about very much, and she was she pretty much just asked me. She's like, why do you care so much? Like, why do you care so much about this?
That's the privilege of not
About the
caring.
news, about everything that's going on. And it shocked me, honestly, coming from this person when they asked me this question. I was like, why wouldn't I care so much? You know, it's almost like you see the memes, like, what radicalized you? You know, and it's like, I'm not radicalized. I was born in this country. I don't know if it was the way I was raised, what I was taught in school, even at an early age in elementary school up north. Just kind of like love for your country, but kind of like the right way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. I hate saying that. I always gotta get myself out of the habit of saying, you know what I mean? Because that's pretty vague. You know, love for your country the right way could be interpreted many different ways. And I think what I was taught was, you know, you work hard, right? The American dream. You work hard. You go to school. You're a good person. You're a good person in society. You know, you're gonna move ahead. You're gonna move up. It's available to you. And I know we talk about this a lot. I know I've always told Ross this too. I didn't know racism was that prevalent until we moved down to Florida. So it's always been such a tough pill for me to swallow in terms of like, hey, just kind of sit back, or hey, don't say too much, or no, this guy's too outspoken, or no, I don't. It's not. You know, like, maybe you shouldn't go after that position or whatever, or certain rules. Like I don't know. You know, it's just like, to me, I'm like, what? Like, why? You know, and why are people like, why is everybody so afraid to rock the boat? I mean, you find out later on when you get older, obviously, like, certain people have different things they have to take care of, I guess, right? Like nobody really wants to lose their job if they've got to support a family, things like that. But it's just crazy to me just to think that it's like, why, go back to the original question, like what makes you care about stuff like that so much? Like what does it matter to you? And like I said, I just, because I saw what was available, it was attainable. I saw that as a child. Someone put that image in my head, and I saw that, and I don't know how you can't see that. Did you give up when you moved down here to Florida? Like, is that what happened? Like, did you just think that that's just it? This is the way of life, so we just have to get used to it? Because I never got used to that. Like, there's just no way that's. I don't know. I just don't. There's. Everybody should care as much as I care. I know it sounds crazy, right? Like I don't, but it's like, why don't you want to leave? Why don't you want to leave this place better off than like, than when you were here? If you care about, certain people in your family, if you care about your daughters, your granddaughters, if you care about, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews, just because you went through something that was crazy hard doesn't mean the next generation should have to go through that. You can't say that, look at me, I came out fine. No. We did not come out okay. There's a lot of stuff that a lot of trauma that could have been avoided that that's just unnecessary, I think. And it should be unnecessary. I don't know. Am I making sense, or am I just going off on like a rant here? I'm sorry. I got to catch myself here because I feel like I'm jumping around a little bit.
It's a baby rant. It's a baby rant. But I do like a point that you just made. That just because you went through stuff doesn't necessarily mean that future generations have to go through it. So carry on. I want to see you land this plane.
Well, that's the big thing for me. I feel like definitely a lot. The generation before me and generations before them have had that chip on their shoulder, like and I've gotten caught up in that myself as well. I can see that. I can understand it, but if you can take a step back from yourself, you know what I mean? When you're thinking things like that and just be like, no, like, look what it did to you. Like, look at the way you view the world now. And why at that age, that should not have been something that you had to have gone through at that age. Someone should have been there for you. And if we know, we can be that person, we are that person that can be that person to the generation behind us, to be like, hey, listen, you let me make things a little bit more easier for you. Like, stupid example. I always go back to the hair thing when I got a mohawk when I was working at Bahama Breeze. And back then that was the thing, right? That was the hockey hawk was in style. Everybody in the Caribbean was rocking the hockey hawk. You know what I mean?
But a fluffy one, a fluffy hawk.
Yeah, but you know how my hair is. I mean, it's just it's curly or whatever. Fluffy. So it's whatever. And it wasn't even it was not, and this isn't long, and it was nowhere near that length. It was just, I thought I was looking cool. And you get cornered by your managers, and they force you to pretty much, hey, we're gonna either fire you if you don't get a haircut. Like, that's not the way, and then, but you're looking around and it's like all these white kids got faux hawks and all this other stuff. And I mean, they got the same haircut I got. Why do I have to cut my hair? And now all of a sudden, whatever's happened, not saying, me, but fast forward to now, I mean, even what was it, a few years ago, the whole natural hair, like bill, right? That was like, that was written.
I believe it's the Crown Act.
Is that what it's called?
I do believe so. Now I'm gonna look it up because
But
sometimes I just pull stuff out. Go ahead, sir.
no, but yeah, like you can, like now it's cool. Like you can't be discriminated against for like your natural hair. Like it was wild to me that somebody said that, like, hey, you need to get a haircut because like it doesn't look natural. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's like I this is natural as it gets. Is this not a Caribbean restaurant? Like I'm more Caribbean than you guys. What's going on here? So I went through that. Millions of women, I can't even imagine. I have a younger sister. I saw what she went through. With the hair thing, the stigma of it all. You know what I mean? What Chris Rock even came out with a movie about it, like a little documentary about something like that, right? And I forget what that one's called too.
Good
But
hair.
yeah, good hair. Thank you. But point is, like, we did that. Hopefully my nieces won't have to go through something like that. Like, what is it with this generation thinking like, no, we got to keep things this way, we got to keep these standards the same, we got to make things just as hard as they were for me, because it's not fair for them to get it easier than I did. Like, hello, they had it the most easiest than anybody. I don't think I'll ever buy a house. Like, back then you could buy a house and you didn't have to graduate high school. Like, we know this. We've seen the numbers. So I don't want to hear this nonsense. Like, I don't know. Whatever. I digress. I don't know. What do I'll Ross, can I ask you why do you care? Do you care? And if so, why?
So the care. So I guess this is a fork in the road moment.
Do you care about politics? Do you care about politics, Ross? Do you care about how people in power treat other people? That was my answer when I was like, what do you mean? Why do I care about politics?
So the answer is yes. I couldn't tell you the why. Because your answer seems very, very well thought out. But if I think about it from your lens, it won't be that way for me, because there's nothing patriotic about me, whether it's about these United States or Canada, right? These are places that I've lived, place where I was born, but I don't see it that way. I consider myself more of a citizen of the world. But the reason why I care, I think I've been indoctrinated in a way, only because I grew up in a household where there was constant conversation about geopolitics, whether it was what was going on in Israel, in Palestine, right back when Yasser Arafat was still alive, back when Yitzhak Rabin was the guy who was running Israel, right? Like back when those guys were alive. Like, if you think about it, we're talking about late 80s. So I was always hearing these conversations happening in my household. So that was always a point of interest for me. As far as like caring how people in power treat others, well, again, indoctrination. I'm Haitian, so I've seen how Haiti, a country who on paper, right, according to history, written and oral, has been independent since 1804, has never had its sovereignty respected, whether it's by the United States or any other global power. If we're talking about, I don't know, G7 nations and whatnot, none of them respect Haiti's sovereignty, which means that since its inception, Haiti has been meddled with, and that's the reason why Haiti is the way it is today, right? And so when you ask me why, if someone was to ask me why I care so much, it's only because I've always had the mentality that it's all of us or none of us, right? So if this system works for me, then it needs to work for Emily and Saul as well. It can't be that because I know this guy, then I'm able to get these things, right? That's not how it works. It can't be because, well, I know how to talk to the teacher and I know how to do this, that's why my son is able. No, no, that's not how it works. Everybody's supposed to have access to resources. You hear something about like, so we always talk about like, oh well, everybody, we need to have equal opportunity. No, we need to have equal outcomes. And then that's where like I'm moving more to the left that everybody else. So I don't consider myself a liberal, right? I see myself as more as someone who's looking for liberation. You know what I'm saying? And that's totally different than, the certain policies that people may have and things like that. Like I'm totally like, no, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so critical of what's supposed to be the left party, the Democrats. I'm critical of them specifically because there's what they allegedly stand for, and then there's what's actually happening, right? And so it is what it is on that end. We don't have to we don't have to go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, so I care because it's just always been for me, it's all of us or none of us. So if I'm able to do this, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to turn around and be like, yo, this is what I did. This is how this happened. And so this should work for you too. And if it doesn't, then something is wrong with the system. And guess what? Something is wrong with the system because not only do we not have equal outcomes, we don't all have the same opportunities either. And that's always been an issue, whether it's this country or any other country, because we talk about whether it's, yes, there's racism, but there's also classism, right? And there's all these other isms that just keep getting in the way and messing everything up. So I don't have a utopian view of the world. I deal with the world as I see it and as it is, or should I say as it is and as I see it? I'm not too sure, but I understand like that our material conditions are this way by design, because there has to be haves and there have to be have-nots, and then you have the people who are somewhere in between. And so I understand that about the world because it's not just in these United States. It's also happening in Canada. It's also happening in, name a country in Europe. If you think that I'm too much of a Haitian nationalist, don't, because I know that it's happening in Haiti just as well. And so, yes, I care because if we can't all have the thing, then none of us should have the thing.
I like you dropped. I don't consider myself a liberal. I consider myself what? Someone looking for liberation?
Liberation, yeah.
Whoa!
Free.
Fire. Straight fire. I had my bad. I was way too close to the mic. Oof.
You're all good.
I don't know how you follow this. Good luck.
Well, yeah.
No, I'm
yeah,
kidding.
good.
I'm
Nope,
kidding.
that's fair.
I'm kidding.
So I think there's sort of philosophically, why do I care? And then practically, why do I care? And philosophically, when I was pretty young, it became self-evident to me that we're supposed to care beyond ourselves. We're supposed to care for other people. And when I was an early teenager, I very much openly rejected religion, which was very upsetting to my mother. And I remember we got into this big fight where she was like, if you don't have church, how do you have morals? Like, how do you know how to treat people? And I was like, you treat people nicely because that's the right thing to do. I don't need a book to tell me that. Like, that's self-evident to me. And I have always just kind of had that ethos in my life. And then when I look around to the people who claim to be the most religious, I find that they are the ones who care the least about the others. So it's always just been sort of an internal way that I operate. I care because I care about other people, because that's the right thing to do. Practically speaking, I think I care because I'm too smart for my own good. I've got too much time on my own hands to obsess about the grift that is happening. Right now, it is so plainly obvious that everything that is happening is to make the rich richer. The FAA canceling a already awarded contract to Verizon to give Elon multi-billion-dollar contracts, like that is the grift. Shutting down the CFPB, allowing him in there in the first place where he could spy on all of his competitors and see what all of his competitors were up to and learn all sorts of insider information. Like, the grift is out in the open. Trump talking about how he's going to sell gold cards to get citizenship to this country. Like, it is I care because it is outrageous.
5 mil. 5 mil.
Yeah, outrageous. And so I think that's why I care on a practical level of like, anybody who doesn't see that grift happening is not paying attention, and maybe that's because they've got better things to do with their time. I don't know. I also feel like not caring comes from a place of privilege to be able to I'm not saying that blanket wide, but a lot of people who decide they're not going to care do that because they don't feel like anything that is happening actually impacts them. So, well, to your point on like, why don't people want to make it better for a better generation? In 2010, I was volunteering, I was interning on a campaign, and I got into a huge fight with one of the campaign staff about immigration because this was 2010. Immigration still was not the hot button issue at the time. It was a bubbling issue, but it wasn't the like big issue. We got in this big fight where she was like, I was saying there needs to be a real pathway to citizenship. If we don't give people a real pathway to citizenship, they're just going to come across the border and figure it out once they get here. And she was like, you will never convince the Democratic Party to reform the system because there are too many older Democrats who came here, who waited for decades in other countries to come here legally. And they say it's not fair to make some sort of fast pass lane. It's not fair to say, I waited two decades, so you're going to wait 2 decades. I was like, that's nonsensical. And that whole idea that because it was bad for me, it's got to be bad for you. I was like, that's not the right ethos to have. And if that's what you really think is going to be the impediment to fixing this, then people are just going to circumvent the system and they're not going to go through the system legally. And then fast forward 15 years later and what's going on, right? Like, and I'm not saying that like I had any sort of deliberative power in that conversation, but I was like, that thinking of I suffered, so you have to suffer, or I suffered, so we're not gonna make it better. It makes zero sense to me. So
yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you.
So here's the thing, right? Like, and because we were just talking about, well, I said a lot of things, but there's actually already like what Donald Trump is doing is just kind of like a fast pass because there's already a process in place where if you invest like $800,000,
yeah, it's a mill.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you invest and you create jobs, then you get a green card, and then 2 years after getting your green card, you can apply for U.S. citizenship. You see what I'm saying? So the system is already fucked up. You know what I mean? And again, like, but who's got $800,000? So
I mean,
the rich people who are going to get richer.
Well, yeah, that and so it's supposed to be an incentive, right, for them to bring over a business over here and start whatever. I get it, but 5 mil. My guy was like, "Yeah, bump it."
Well, that's the thing. The thing. It's like it's kind of like let's say you go into the club, right? Let's take it back.
It's like yesterday's price ain't today's price.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Let's take it back 17 years, and then you get to a point where like, oh, bottles are only $350. Okay, cool. So then bottles are only $350. If we get a couple of us to put in, then we all get a bottle, and then we could get VIP service, right? And so now it's like no. You can't have that many people. So now you gotta, and so now it's only going to be available to the top of the top to be able to get in. It's the same thing. It's like it used to be 800,000, but we just want the top of the top. So now you need 5 million.
Russian oligarchs. He's like, I know some good ones.
Yeah, that's a good one. There's a grift happening that won't play out immediately. We'll see it over the course of the several years, but there's a plan right now. Now, remember, we ordered everybody back to the office. We ordered all the federal workers back to the office, even though we don't have actual desks for all of them to sit at. But the plan now is they want to fire sale federal land, federal office space, federal buildings. Okay. And they're trying to do it 30 cents on the dollar. The auctions are going live in March. Okay. Like it's publicly available. Elon has talked about how they want to fire sale the federal land. Okay. Now, what do you think that's going to mean? They're going to sell an office building, and for 30 cents on the dollar, some investor is going to snap that up, and then they're going to rent it back to the government at a premium. Right? That's what's going to happen. So his rich friends continue to get richer. All of it. All of it. Like,
Who's rich friends though? Because let's be real, Elon ain't got no friends. That's if anything has been made clear to us since January is that my dude ain't got nobody. And
No.
that's why he's making this such a miserable experience for the rest of us. Let's be honest. Like, did y'all see the whole thing where like his baby mama was like reaching out to him?
yep.
Through Twitter?
Both of
Via
them.
Twitter.
Two of them. Grimes had to do it too.
Yeah.
Fam. Via Twitter? Yo.
Take it life or death, whatever, something like that. This is urgent for your child. I was like, yo.
On the socials.
Yo, the video of him walking off the airplane and his kid just wandering off behind him, like, I don't know.
Yeah, his dad said he wasn't a good parent.
Yeah, I saw that video.
Let that sink in.
Okay, but
You all
also
know who his father is.
dad, yeah. His
His
dad impregnated
His
his own
dad said that he's not a
daughter.
good parent. That man.
My whole thing, I just don't understand how people are not just more angry. How are people just not more enraged by any of this? I'm sitting here just like, I feel like Mugatu. I feel like Mugatu when he's like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here. You know what I mean? In Zoolander, because that's, I'm in a fantasy basketball league, and I know nobody in
It's
this
high
league.
stakes. It's a high stakes league.
Yeah, right now it's a high stakes league for sure. And I don't know anybody in this league. I got invited through the one person I do know.
So you do know somebody.
One person. Okay, and this person doesn't know anybody in this league either. I think that's what he mentioned to me. Okay. So I guess he got invited by somebody that knows somebody there, but in the league, them. Yeah. But I guess he couldn't join the league, so he got him to join the league, and I guess somebody else had dropped out, so they needed another one, so then he got me to join the league.
All right.
I think that's how it worked. I'm pretty sure that's all right. I know Ross is following me.
No, I get it.
There's no idea. Yeah.
I understand how leagues work.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah, I forgot you do. My bad. How dare me?
Yeah, how dare
you? So you get put on this group thread through text because money's involved, and you got to keep sending people reminders. The commissioner or whatever has to keep sending people reminders. So anyway, something happens. Oh, the Luka trade. You know what? When we all go back in time, like 20 years from now, we're all going to see the devastating effect that this Luka trade had on not just only the NBA, but like on the social landscape and like the social fabric of the world. I think this trade just rippled through society, and it was like a butterfly effect.
I want you to put a pin in that, and we need to come back to this.
We'll circle back to that, but
please.
But anyways, this trade news gets dropped in the thread, and everyone's saying how crazy it is. And I want to feel the temperature in the room. Okay, that's the kind of I don't know these guys. I need to feel it out. I need to feel out who am I breaking bread with here?
Okay, carry on.
You know what I mean? Like I'm dipping my toe. I'm figuring out where we're at with everybody. And I was like, yeah, not as crazy as old Elon taking over the Treasury Department.
Okay, that wasn't a temperature check. That was a straight up. That was a straight up shirts off. I'm going.
You dove in.
Yeah. You got a cannonball. That's the best way to find out.
Right.
Just jump right in.
So it wasn't a temperature check. It was I'm going in no matter what. That's very different. But carry on. Going in for the kill. I got you.
I'm not going in for the kill, but just like I said, hey, where's everybody at on this? Because this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazier than the Luka trade. I don't, like it is. It's everything that's happening right now, with this Doge stuff, and my point is, I'd probably say 80% of this league was just gaslighting the whole situation. The Nazi salute came out, and nobody wanted to denounce that. They're asking questions like, what is a Nazi? You're just throwing that word. I'm like, so what is it? Define what a Nazi is. I'm like, if I have to define what a Nazi is to you, then you're a Nazi.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's only uncomfortable to people that are, in agreement with all this stuff. Anyways,
you got too much time. No.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
No.
You're absolutely right. I had time that day.
Yeah. No.
That day I had time.
No. Once that's said, I'm like, okay, I'm out. Now I know who you are.
But
Bye.
Point is, yeah, exactly. I was just like, what? I didn't reply to those, questions. I was at this point, I'm just kind of like, I'm not even going to engage in these questions that you're asking me, because that's what I said. I'm like, if you don't know what it is, then I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even. It was.
It's the 21st century. Some shit you just don't ask as a grown person.
How are people just so unbothered by all this? You know what I mean?
So when you say how are people so unbothered by this, what do you mean?
I guess unbothered by.
Because when you hold on
by the lies, by the blatant lies, like, okay, Doge saved us. How much money did Doge save?
Identify people, because are you saying people who support it?
Yes, people who support it.
Oh, well,
sorry. Yeah,
it's much easier to believe a lie,
or people who don't pay attention.
Well, right? Depending on who the people who don't pay attention are, because I can tell you that you have a lot of people whose, I used that term earlier, material condition doesn't allow for them to be worried about who's in power and what the people in power are doing. You know why? Because I've been working at Walmart, I've been working at Ross, and not that I down talk anybody who worked those jobs, but I can tell you that those are not high paying jobs, right? So I'm struggling, I'm fighting to make a living. I've been fighting to make a living. So whether it's Obama, whether it's Bush, whether it's Biden, I'm still going to be in a struggle. So it doesn't matter to me, right? Oh, Trump is in office. Okay, I'm still going to have to go punch in. I'm still going to have these problems. And so if we're talking about,
I think the problems get worse.
Right.
How do they not notice that?
It's not that they don't notice that, Saul, is that it doesn't fucking matter. Nobody's fighting for me. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's fighting for me. It doesn't matter who's in there. Nobody's fighting for me. So whatever, I'm still gonna have to go.
So this is just financially then, because
no, it's not just financially. I'm just pointing out this one. But there's other situations where it's like, okay, so and so's gonna. Okay, perfect example, right? So we as if I've been out there trying to do it. There's been this bill out, right, that people have been trying to pass, right? The Justice for George Floyd Act, right? How long has that shit been argued? Right? There was a time.
4.5 years.
And there was a time, right? There was a time when there was a president who allegedly was for us, who could have done some shit about it, right? Because who's out here, right, signing all these executive orders, right? Not the person that we thought would be out there for us. You know what I'm saying? So that's another one. Like, okay, well, I threw my hat in the ring for support, to support this person, to support this party, to support these people, and this is what I got out of it. More people were killed by the police. More people who looked like me got killed by the police, and that happened during those 4 years. So apathy, or it's just like, and it's not so much apathy. It's more like, yo, don't nobody give a fuck about me. So let me just keep doing my thing over here. And so that happens in any kind of situation that you want to point out, whether it's financial, whether it's just a social situation, whether we're talking about like racial, whatever the case may be. You just have people who are, so I'm talking about those people. Now you also have people who, hey, as long as somebody else has it worse than me, or as long as I think that someone who doesn't look like me has it worse than me, then whatever it is that you got to do, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't have anything, but these motherfuckers don't have either, so I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Like that xenophobia that these United States have had since the inception of these United States. That's it right there. All right, I yield the rest of my time.
I get the if the system isn't working for me, what do I care if it's on fire? Like I get that sentiment. Now I think it's short-sighted because I do want some functional government with some rule of law, but we'll put that aside for a second. I get the sentiment that if you don't think the system's working for you, you're not going to step up to trying to defend the system. But I think that's different from being like, well, define what a Nazi is. Like that's actively ignorant.
Hold on,
Like,
hold on. If we think that I was standing or defending Mr. Define what a Nazi is, let's just
no.
okay.
No, I don't think you're arguing on behalf of him. Not at all.
Just
Not at
wanted
all.
to make sure that there was no misunderstanding on that part. Please carry on. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No. I don't think you think that. No, I just think that like there's some people that are not paying attention because they've got day-to-day survival to worry about. I get that. Like I said earlier, I'm too smart for my own good. I got too much time on my hands. Like that's why I'm obsessive about these things. I don't have a family to take care of. I don't have kids to feed, like whatever. But then there's the actively ignorant people of define what a Nazi is. Like that is a completely inexcusable question to ask somebody.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just,
no, like I said, if that
you can send this link to them tomorrow,
once that
up in the
happens,
chat.
oh god,
if that happens,
that's the
you
last
gotta
thing I
be
want to
like,
do. They roasted me. Somebody already one of the guys found our podcast, and then he said I look like I'm 50 years old. I was like, oh, thanks.
Okay.
I was
You
like,
gotta
thanks
let
for
him know
watching.
You're like, yo,
I was like, dude, thanks for watching. I was like, I can't believe you found. I'm like, either somebody told him about it, or they literally just Googled who I was, which is I don't know, which is crazy, but I think more along the lines that somebody told him about it, and I know who that person is. And if this person is watching this, I know it was you, Fredo. I know it was you. Anyways,
well, it ain't the way I wanted it.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me right back in. But yeah, it's just too much for me to wrap my head around of just people that don't find it as appalling as I do.
Well, you can't do that.
They don't find it as appalling as a World War II veteran would. They don't find it as appalling as like, I mean, what, did nobody teach anybody about the Holocaust down here? I don't get it. You know what I mean? It's just wild to me that I feel like we're watching this happen in real time. Like this is happening more now. Like this is really happening, and nobody wants to step up and do anything about it. All these good people that we know are just too good to say anything like about this. Like the literal evil that we've been taught that is like, hey, like this is bad. This is bad. We can't, you gotta snuff it out. Like this is the one thing we can't tolerate. And it's like, no, let's just, you know what? Let's hear these guys out again. Like, no, I want to hear what that Nazi has to say. Hey, wait a second.
They're making some good points.
It's like, what? Yeah. It's like, what? Like, that's how it started. And it's like, and we're seeing it now. And nobody, and nobody's like batting an eye to it. It's just wild to me. Like, it's wild to me that these guys have enough gall to literally form together and go like, and have their little marches or post up their signs and like literally no like fucking World War II veteran or something like that. It's come out and sprayed them all. You know what I mean? Like nobody, I don't get how something so evil. They're going to turn an eye to that. They're going to turn a blind eye to that. It's wild to me. Wild. Like, did nobody saw Schindler's List? Did anybody see? I don't know what like. Nobody knows about Anne Frank, the Diary of Anne Frank. For goodness' sake, all these good. Listen. All these people that we think are good. I look at all of them and I'm like, you would have gave up Anne Frank. You would have gave her up. You would have gave her up. You would have gave her up on her family. That's it. It's a wrap. They're going to kill you anyways, and you're still going to give her up. You're pathetic. You pathetic coward. And that's what these people are to me. They're just like pathetic fucking cowards. Just to let things like that happen. They know somebody. You know what I mean? Like that's even involved in it. You should immediately shun them from society. Like, hey, no, that's bad. If they don't want to listen to you say, hey, no, that's bad, you're gonna be like, all right, we cannot be friends. I do not want to be associated with you. This is not right. I'm going to keep an account of this. And if I have to, I mean, I don't know. You can't call the cops because they're fucking Nazis too. Half of them anyways. I don't know. But
so
it's that thing is just insane to me.
So
CPAC at the CPAC, you know, they're all doing these Sieg Heil signs at the CPAC. Like, what is this? Go ahead, Ross. I don't know. I'm done. It's crazy to me.
So this is where I come in. So you're saying like, these people are cowards, but to be a coward is to see something, know that it's wrong, and not do anything about it, right?
Oh, they know. They know.
Hold on. Let me finish.
My bad. I'm gonna mute myself.
But there's also a possibility that you see something and you don't think it's wrong, so you don't do anything about it. And being that we live in these United States of America, I have no qualms. I have no apprehension of believing in the latter. So maybe you thought these were good people, but turns out they weren't. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, because we're talking about these United States, right? Like, and I know you like to have like a division between, like, in terms of like racial events that happen in the South as opposed to what happens in the North. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you live south of the Canadian border, you're in the deep South, period, right? If we think about things that have happened in Howard Beach, if we think about things that are going on right now in the Bronx, if you go in certain neighborhoods and you look like me, you're going to be like, yo, what you doing out here, right? And you have a situation where you even have like Latino cops talk like they're Italian, you know what I'm saying? You even have black cops who be like, yo, you can't be out. So, you know, you don't necessarily have to be a white person to uphold white supremacy. But what I am saying is that if these people who you had so much faith into and now you see them as cowards, you should just change the way that you view them and not see them as cowards and just see them as maybe.
So let me take that back a little bit. You know what, it's not me thinking that they're good people. It's just me thinking that we all know Nazi bad. That's it. With history, throughout history, that's all. I just think it's just one of those kind of common sense things. I would say 99% of the fucking world, when if they saw swastika, they'd be like, oh, that's not good. Like, it's outlawed in Germany. You can't even put anything up like that in Germany. You can't do anything like that. You'll go to jail.
No. You have to remember that the only reason that these United States got involved in whatever was going on in Germany was because they were bombed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So had the Japanese not bombed them, they would have never gotten involved.
I get it, but we know the collective general knows what's wrong, like what's bad and what's good. They have a general idea of it, unless you are like mentally handicapped, unless you've got some sort of mental disability, like or unless you're, like some sort of schizophrenic person that, I mean, like, how does it work? I'm going to refer to you here in court.
Let's start with the DSMV.
Right? Like in
no,
court.
we're on 5 now. No. We're not on Roman numerals anymore.
like in court, right? Like, how do you know what's good or bad? You get what I'm
saying?
You
do know how it works.
People know, and that's where the gaslighting is. Like, right? I don't know. I digress. Can I say that? Is that a court thing, a term? I digress, Your Honor.
No. I
I
digress means I'm getting you off the point. You don't want to
the
digress.
court doesn't
in court.
like when you digress.
No.
I yield.
Although,
I yield my
the
time.
judges love to digress.
I yield my time.
Yielding your time is in. You want to rest your case.
I rest my case. Your counsel.
There you go.
I rest the case. I rest my case. Yeah, there you go. Where's the gavel when you need one?
No, my point is still this, man. Like, because yes, I'm with you 110% in what you're saying, but I also want you to understand that this nation that we live in doesn't uphold any of what you're saying. Like, if we're talking about a world war, something that was going on since 1939, and then you only got involved because you were attacked, that means you wouldn't have gave a fuck before. Right? You wouldn't have gave a fuck before. And then when you think about like the Jewish codes that there was in Nazi Germany, but when you think about the fact that those Jewish codes were based on Jim Crow, because yes, Germany wrong, but this was like, we're talking about a war that ended in 1945. When did these United States integrate? Much later than that. So yes, sure. World War II vet is probably going to be like, yo, we fought to end these things. Did you though? Because you had German prisoners in cars in front of the black soldiers who fought on the same side as you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they were still black, so they were still less than. So did we? Right? Like, how much do we really hold these beliefs? How much do we really think of those things as like something that should be an ethos if we think about the condition that this nation was in?
It's what they taught me in elementary school.
Right.
And that is what I'm going to see. And
okay.
I am owed that.
What did they teach?
American.
No. Okay. So what did they teach you in elementary school?
Hey.
Nazi bad.
Right. So Nazi bad.
Okay, Nazi bad. Number one.
Not Rockefeller bad.
No, I know.
He doesn't like black people, but Nazi bad.
Hey, I wasn't he a Nazi too? I don't know. I got to go back. Or Ford was one of those.
But he was taught Nazi bad. Everybody was taught Nazi bad, and now we've got people going, I don't know, were they?
That's the thing.
Because it's like, I don't know, were they? Because they just
also
believe that someone should be above somebody else, and I think I should be above somebody else, so I kind of see what they were thinking.
No, they know it's bad though. They know they're wrong. They just still do it because they're selfish pricks and evil. That's what it is. I don't even know what to say. I don't know. Nazi bad. All right, Nazi bad. American dream good. That's what I'm owed. All right, and I'm gonna get that.
And that's why he rants every morning.
That's what I want.
That's why you rant every morning.
I mean, yeah, probably. But I mean, and I hear you, Ross. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely 100% understand where you're coming from and what you're saying. I know I'm delusional in my way of thinking. But I'm allowed to be, because this is America, right? Like, they told me I can dream this dream. And like, why do I need to be afraid? Like, when I go outside, why do I need to worry about my mom getting scooped up by like ice or something? Just cause they don't know. Like, why do I have to? Like, I was born here in this country. Why? And I know why, but why am I not treated the same way? And I'm going to make sure that everybody hears that. That's my thing. And I think a lot of people are just afraid to live like to hit them with that like bravado almost. Like, hey, no, hey, I'm still here. Hey, remember me? No. I see you doing bad things. You can't do that. Like, I just like, when did that stop? Like, what is going on with people? Like, I don't know, that they're just okay with being treated like shit, knowing that it shouldn't happen, and knowing that there are other places where they wouldn't treat you that way. And your home where you live should be that place too. You shouldn't have to leave somewhere to get treated like a American citizen. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't know.
Oh, I do get what you're saying.
Anyways, moving on, because we've been ranting about this for an hour, and I really wanted to get to this this next topic real quick before we
All right,
go to the Get How You Live. Unless anybody else had anything else to say about this, don't get me wrong. I don't want to cut off anybody's final points
I enjoyed this
thoughts.
conversation, sir.
Yeah, I just you got to care, man. No, you got to care. Is that what we?
I'm not worried about anybody else caring. If they don't care, that's fine. Because so something I was going to say to you, because you're saying why don't people care and why don't people do this, and you ought to give thought to then joining an organization, a community organization that believes the same things that you do. Because then you will find yourself among people who see things the way that you do.
I'm here right now.
I told him to do this last year. He doesn't listen to us.
I'm here right now. This is it.
No,
this is it.
This is not.
It.
This is.
I gotta make time. I gotta make more time. Time is fleeting.
Well, you can't say that now after we just had a conversation about why so many
you're
don't.
absolutely right.
Yeah, you can't say that.
Well, I just think if people even cared just a smidge, give me a smidge of caring, an ounce of caring, I think it would be felt.
People is too broad of a term, because if you're speaking of a specific demographic, then you got to say that, because when you say people, you're just including everybody, right? And that's not the case. You have quite a few people who do care, right? So if you make it very specific,
the people who are not enraged need to be enraged.
Okay, that's still broad, but I'll take it.
They're not. Yeah, that's it. People who are not enraged about this, about things that are happening right now, need to be enraged. Is that Emily? I see you. Emily, what? Say what you got to say.
No, I'm not. I'm not sitting on anything.
I see. No, yeah, you're lying. No. I see you like rolling your eyes over there. What is it?
No, I'm not rolling my eyes. I'm not. There's nothing to say. I don't disagree. I think. I think there are many different ways to care. It doesn't mean that you have to be outraged, but that's the way you teeter.
What? What's that supposed to mean?
The amount of rants you have in a day is not what most people do. So you don't have to be enraged.
First off, that's a lie. I think people rant more than we know.
Ross, the last time I was there, it was like 9:30 in the morning. I was like, "You're on your third rant of the morning. What is happening?"
Deservedly so. I have a jackhammer that lives upstairs. I don't know what you want me to do. My windows rattle when they walk around and just shakes.
There are many different ways to care. It doesn't mean that you have to be enraged.
I think we have to be enraged right now. I think right now is enrage time. Rage time is right now.
I tend to be in that same lane, but I'm just saying that's not the only way to care.
I mean, I guess you're right. Anyways. Did we see this embarrassing Zelensky-Trump meeting?
Don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
First, this guy starts saying things, and not even in the meeting. This is before what he said Ukraine started the war. Yep. They start lying. Then during the meeting, they start lying, or this conference or whatever. They start lying about the money that's been used and sent over there, which was a complete lie. They said that the U.S. has spent more money than Europe, and that's a lie. Europe has spent more money with aid to Ukraine than the U.S. has.
Well, he'd already had a dust up with Macron from France earlier in the week about the money to Ukraine too.
Oh, that was beautiful too. Macron, and the reports were about the strong man, strong arm handshake. Did you guys read anything about that too? Like, I wish I.
Yes.
Apparently, it left Donald Trump's little baby hands all bruised up, and there were marks, and Macron's hands were imprinted on Donald Trump's. Like, this is. See, I love reading. I love hearing things about that. I like reading things like that. But yeah. Anyway, Zelensky gets to the White House, and I guess he gets kind of ambushed by these clowns, asking him dumb questions. Even as far as going asking him, like, why aren't you wearing a suit? Like, why aren't you wearing a suit? What do you? What? My country's in war. What do you mean?
In sweatpants.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know what. All right, what did you, Emily? Emily, give me your thoughts on this whole situation. This whole embarrassing thing.
The whole thing is, I hate it so much. It was so unpresidential. It was. I mean. So today I was at the Spy Museum, and there was this like video clip playing, and they were talking about how Russia and the US are foreign enemies. And I turned to the group that I was with. I was like, I don't know, I think we're friends now. And everybody was like, yep, think we are. Like, I can't believe the shifts that are happening in the alliances worldwide right now. It is insane.
Oh, and then they had that meeting with Zelensky, by the way, today or whatever, without the U.S. because they can't trust the U.S. to be an ally. Go ahead.
We are doing so much damage on a foreign policy scale with allies and alliances. And what happened yesterday was an absolute juvenile circus, with Vance being like, you should say thank you, and them yelling at each other in the Oval Office, and little Marco's there with his oversized suit looking like a buffoon. Like, it was such a depressing spectacle of where we are. And most people won't even clock it as relevant. They'll just think it was some pissing match in the Oval Office that has no repercussions. So I don't have fully formed thoughts on it because it was so sad, I think.
Ross, did you get a chance to see a clip of that at all or anything?
I read about it. I wasn't going to waste my time watching a video of...
It would have made you angry. I'll tell you that right now. It definitely would have made you angry watching that.
So,
yeah.
No, I just read about it and I just was like, ugh.
Again, it's the grift.
But, we're trying to stay out of jail, right? So, let's go be president.
Yeah. But it's more of the grift, right? He wants Ukraine because of the mineral rights. He's upset about it. He loves it. He loves a dictator, right? Like, he loves Kim Jong-un. Like, he's got these infatuations with these strong men.
These fake strong men, yeah.
It's just so depressing.
No, Zelensky ends up leaving, doesn't sign the minerals agreement.
Yeah.
What is it? The Kremlin in Russia goes on today saying something about, just like how Trump strong-armed Zelensky or embarrassed him or whooped him or whatever it is. It's just like all this propaganda. How do you still support this regime? As a patriot, right? As someone who loves America, right? And like, we know Russia is not an ally, and you see all this take place. How do you still support some? How do you? What excuse are you making in your head? That's what I want to know. Like, how are you justifying this to yourself?
Are you asking
I
us?
mean,
Because
anybody.
I'm
Yeah,
not
sure.
because
I
I'm
don't
not
know. Yeah.
justifying this in my head,
No, not
so I
you,
don't
not you. But
know.
like I said, so
So I don't know how
like I
to
said,
answer that.
yeah, it's
I felt
wild
that
to
that
me.
was more of a rhetorical,
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure.
but I can see how someone can at least see that because there's this idea that America is getting a bad deal, right, everywhere, and so the idea of bringing another dignitary in the Oval Office and treating him like that makes you look like a badass to some people or an idiot to others.
It was such a debacle.
I just saw the message here in the chat.
Did you see the picture? I threw the picture in.
Carolyn Levitt. No, I didn't see that. Carolyn Levitt said that his commitment is unwavering. This is the excuse they gave for the bruises that Macron left on his hand. President Trump has bruises on his hand because he's constantly working and shaking hands all day, every day.
All day, every
Give
day.
me a break.
Is he also kissing babies? Does he have any bruises on his lips?
Yeah, I mean, he's probably kissed some babies. All right, I'll tell you that. And gross Epstein flight log man. Oh, that's another thing. The circus, yes, the charade here of the releasing of the Epstein files, right? So who are these people that came out? They look like they visited a gift shop because they came out with like each of them had all this Make America Great hats and propaganda, all these giveaways. It's like they went into some sort of I don't know, convention, like a trade show, and just walked out of there with a bunch of stuff in these binders. The one guy, I don't even know his name, but he stands out there and he's like holding the binder out like he's like what was in there that we didn't already know? Literally, that was nothing. There wasn't anything in there that the public does not already know, that has not already been released to the public. So what? They handed out binders to a bunch of influencers. Is that what it is? And they're out there just dancing around. This guy committed heinous crimes, and you're out here.
Which, by the way, your dear Lord and Savior, President Trump, was there, hanging out with him.
What, Epstein?
How do you square that?
Yeah, the whole time. Yeah, I know.
How do they square that? But there was no, from my understanding, based on the reporting that's been done so far, there was nothing new in those binders. Yeah. It was stuff that was like publicly available, like the flight logs. Like you can track that stuff yourself. Go on Google. So
there's so much nonsense is going on. Doge isn't saving anybody any money. Where everyone, what is it? 21 staffers or whatever from I forget where, like resigned.
It actually ended up being higher. It ended up being like I think 40, because so Elon's end goal is the AI. He wants AI to run the government, and he wants his AI to be doing it. And so the staffers that quit in protest were ones that had to do with tech in the government, and they were like, we're not signing on to do the bidding that he wants them to do. So it ended up being more than the original 21 that they reported on.
I don't know, man. I literally just don't know anymore. I don't know what to think. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how people are just not more enraged about this, not more just like, catching on, like getting wise to the bullshit that's been happening.
Most so like what happened yesterday with Zelensky. Most people, if they caught it at all, are just gonna be like, that's so dumb, and move on with their lives. Most people are not. I know 2% of foreign policy, but as soon as that happened, I was like, this is horrible for the effects that it has on our allies, and seeing his behavior and seeing how he is treating these people and how he's trying to cozy up to Russia, and all the stuff that they're trying to do, all the stuff that he was talking about with NATO, and all the stuff that he was saying were concessions that Russia wanted.
Yeah.
Again, I know 2% of foreign policy. Most people aren't connecting any sort of dots. Most people aren't going, how are these having ripple effects on everything worldwide? They're just going to look at it and go, that was real dumb and keep it moving, or they'll see some memes and laugh and keep it moving. Like most of these things are one-offs that people aren't putting together into a larger picture of what's going on.
I don't know. I don't know how you don't see the larger picture. That's the thing. I don't know. Anyways, oh God, just thinking about it makes me so angry. Am I
This is
missing
really
anything?
good
Is anybody
for
else? Is
everyone's blood
anybody
pressure.
else? Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Ross, you got anything to add there? Nah, you good? I mean, I know you care. I know M cares. I know our collective group cares. I don't know how people are so like, I don't get it. I'm moderate. I'm apolitical. I just don't care. I don't care about politics. Idiots. Just ignorance truly is bliss. You know what I mean? Like it really is. I wish. No, no. Yeah, no, we can't sing that no more. Oh man. Some classic bangers. We can't even
We can sing hostile government takeover.
You know what? I'll think about that. Anyways, no, that is a classic. That's a banger. Ross,
That's so good.
hit me. Get it how you live.
Yo, I want to give this one goes out to the homie Eric Adams, mayor of the city of New York. Yo, my man was facing federal crimes, and and I keep saying because I'm dumbfounded by
Well, he
by
could
the
still be
turn
facing them.
by the turn of events, because it started out where he wasn't facing those. Well, he was facing them, and charges were mounted. The charges that were mounting were just. I was like, wow, my man try to get away with doing that. His relationships were very questionable. To be fair, however, it just seems like that's how, unfortunately, that's how politics work. He just wasn't good enough at covering his tracks, or at the very least, at maybe he just didn't think that it would catch up to him because so many people are just so blatant about it. I mean, how many people from his entourage or cabinet? I don't know that a mayor has a cabinet per se, but when you're talking about a city as large
I mean, he probably
as
does.
the city of New York, a lot of people that he had appointed ended up stepping down at the beginning, like towards the back half of 2024. A lot of heads were rolling. And at a certain point, the investigation was supposed to stop, right, under the new administration. But then my man turned around and decided to sue for $80 million because the city needs money, right? Municipal governments are funded by federal funds when you think about it. But that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to give y'all all of this. But the reason why he's getting to Get It How You Live is because to close out Black History Month, my man was out there at a press conference and feeling like he could beat the charges like a Teflon Don that he may not be. He was like, to all them Negroes who wanted me to step down. What did he say? No. It was more of a
I know
biblical. When Jesus was on the cross, he asked God to forgive them, for they know not what they do. Well, to all them Negroes was asking me to step down, and then the crowd just goes crazy. And then homeboy goes, "Are you stupid? Are you stupid?" But yeah, I just wanted to give it to him, only because it takes a certain kind of man. And when I say that, a lot of people are like, oh, well, he had balls or he had the moxie to do it. No, it takes you to be willing to be so self-unaware to pull something like that, because you were talking about earlier dipping your toe to check the temperature. Man, you got to read the room. Bro, you got to read the room. This is not the time for you to be talking like that. You're talking about a re-election campaign that's about to happen for you, and that's the type of shit you're doing. I don't think that's a good look. But hey, player, get it how you live. You do you, man. You do you. Shout out to Eric Adams for giving me quite a few moments of laughter over the last couple of days. Thank you, sir.
Hey, Cuomo running is going to try to run against him, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, buddy.
Yo,
Andrew
Cuomo hasn't even, well, at least at the time, he hadn't even thrown his hat in the ring yet, and he was already ahead of Eric Adams. And you know, it's a problem.
Oh my!
When Andy Cuomo, if we remember
Yep.
how his last political foray ended.
What, the nursing home thing? With the COVID and the nursing homes?
From what
And,
I
No,
understand,
the
he was
sexual
very
harassment.
handsy.
and the sexual harassment? Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
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 Andy
This
could have
is
kept his
great.
hands to himself.
This is great.
And now he might become the mayor of the city of New York.
Stephen A. Smith might become our next president.
No, that will never happen. Stop. That would never happen. I know.
Yo, Andrew.
Nobody likes him.
Cuomo.
Nobody likes Stephen A. Smith.
Wait till he runs as a third-party spoiler.
No, there would be no reason for him to do something like that. He's nowhere near qualified to be anything like that. He's barely qualified to do what he does now. He's become a caricature of himself.
Trump's not
And it's a
qualified to
shame.
be president.
What?
Trump's not qualified to be president.
Oh yeah, I know, you're right.
I know that a lot of times I am what some may see as contrarian to what you say, but on that one, yo, if being a caricature of yourself could be embodied, if it could be incarnated, it would be Stephen A. Smith.
That's him. That's him.
Like, yo, how did we get there? Like, I want to know who his handlers are and how they've allowed. I mean, granted, you know, if we talking about getting how you live, he's getting his paper, that's for sure.
Definitely getting paid.
But damn, bro,
He's definitely getting paid.
how you sleep at night, dog? How you
Bro.
sleep at night, knowing that you are but a mere shell of the man you once, at the very least, appeared to be. Come on, man. Come on.
Every time I see him on the TV screen, like I hope people know what a caricature is. Like you go to a theme park or a fair or whatever, you know, you sit down, the artist draws some ridiculous sketch of you, over exaggerating your features and everything like that. Like that's what he is. He is a caricature. Like that's what I see when I see him. I don't even see a person. I see a cartoon character that's just theatrics. That's it. That's it. Same thing with Skip Bayless. But I mean, that's well, I don't think we'll ever see him on TV again anyway.
You know, just wanted to say Andrew Cuomo and Nazir have something in common.
Oh, their birthday?
Both of their parents went to St. John's University.
Oh,
Fathers.
oh, okay. Hey, St. John's. Shout out to St. John's.
Yeah, shout out to St. John's. Big East Conference champion, St. John's, by the way.
Rick Pitino. Hey.
So maybe I should have gave a shout out to Rick Pitino. Yeah.
He definitely gets it how he lives. I'll tell you that right now.
Hey, yo.
Oh my goodness. All right. Any final thoughts, Em?
No.
No.
Yo.
No.
So here's my final thought.
We have to bring the mood up next time.
Yeah, I know, right?
Next pod, we gotta talk about the
Luca
trade and
Luka trade.
and not even
Well,
on,
you want to? Yeah, we put a pin in it. Yeah,
we put a pin in it. So next pod, we gotta talk about what we may be looking at 20 years from now.
What, the butterfly effect of the Luka trade?
Yes, because you said some things. You got to go back and check the tape, son.
I know. Hey, listen, relationships have been just destroyed, demolished.
Brother.
Friendship, like like the world was turned upside down for like a week
brother.
with this trade. Okay.
People were outside of the arena with
Yes.
caskets.
Yeah.
Demanding for Nico Harrison's body.
They played the Lakers in LA, and the crowd kept chanting, "Thank you, Nico," to the GM of the Mavs. And he's right there. He's right there. He was there.
Of course.
He's there. And you've got Luka yelling at him throughout the game as well. Like
which I'll probably do.
Communities have been devastated, bro, because of this trade.
I think Nico's a patsy, yo.
100%. He's horrible.
No. As in, I think he's a scapegoat.
He's taking the hate.
Yeah, he's taking the fault. That was somebody else's decision.
For the racist neo-Nazi owner that they have now. What's her face?
She is not a neo-Nazi owner. She's actually a survivor of the Holocaust. She's a descendant.
Yeah, no, she's a Zionist.
So,
she's
racist,
a Zionist.
yes.
Sorry. Racist Zionist owner that she is. Edelstein. That's it, right? Edelson.
Yeah.
Whatever. She's crazy. She's crazy on that casino money.
Miriam. Yeah, that's Shell's money.
Mm-hmm. All right. Shout outs. Give me some shout outs.
Shout out to my mom who doesn't listen.
Hey,
yo. You coming in hot. You coming in hot.
Oh my goodness! What do you are you not doing any glass blowing anymore? What's going on with that?
I made this.
All right. This is what we're
doing. Okay. Oh, okay.
Stemless wine glass. I don't know if you can see, but it's got like a glitter situation going on.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I did drop down to every other week though for some reasons we'll talk about off the pod.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Ross, give me some shout outs.
Yo, I'm just giving one shout out, and that's to, you already know, Mr. Rick Pitino, straight out of Oyster Bay, New York. We appreciate the work that you've been doing. Listen, as apathetic as I may seem, I cannot front that my time at the St. John's University was a good time. So shout out to him for bringing back pride. Because I don't know if y'all been paying attention to what's been going on over there in the last 20 years. But
didn't you guys have Chris Mullen as a coach for a little bit?
Listen, that was horrendous. I think we were like texting each other back and forth during a game with Mully coaching. So yeah, no, that was horrendous, man. Shout out to him though, product of St. John's. But Rick will see the way forward. He's like the Pat Riley of college ball. Well, Pat Riley's not as scandalous, so I'll take it back.
Hey, he's thriving now. The NIL deals are allowed.
There you go. So really, he's avant-garde. He was ahead of the curve.
Yeah, they all were. They all were. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Let me see, man. Shout outs. Regular shout outs. Yeah, I don't switch it up. You know what I mean? LA Insurance, Ray and Charles, shout out to them doing their thing. LA Realty as well. My man Alan, shout out to Big Al.
Straight from the D.
Straight out the D. Let's see. Who else am I shouting out? Chris and Saba. Shout outs to both of you guys. Todd, Random Thoughts, best regards. Go check that out. Check out the older episodes too. Whatever. Who else am I forgetting? Oh, Long Shots, Bar and Billiards down on the Four Corners area. Go holler at Harold and Mo. You know what I mean? They be doing their thing out there. You know what I mean? Shout out to Big Mo. Who else do I want to shout out, man? Shout out to Jalen Brunson for being an MVP. You know, shout out to the Knicks. Shout out to Mitchell Robinson coming back from injury. You know
what about Big Cat?
He comes back the day that Joel Embiid is like, hey, he's done for the season. That's what he gets. Yeah. Karma. We'll never forget.
Does Big Cat get any love today?
Big Cat gets a big love. Old sassy ass cat. What is he? Old sassy ass cat. I love him.
First of all,
I'm gonna send you something.
Comment. But carry on.
I'm gonna send you something that's gonna make you call him Zesty too. Don't worry.
I do not appreciate the zesty comment.
It's all right. You know what? Since you're in on this conversation now, you will also get that, and then you'll understand why I call him Zesty Cat.
Can't wait.
So shout out to them. Who else am I? Shout out to Ashley. Shout out to the FNF. They know who they are. Who else am I forgetting, man? I keep forgetting. Shout out to Cass. Golly, I think that might be it, huh? I don't know. If I forgot you in the shout outs, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Shout out my fantasy basketball league for being a bunch of Nazis. Yeah, you know who you are. You know what? Hold on. You know who you are.
Define
You know who
Nazi,
you are.
though. Define Nazi.
Oh my goodness. What a time to be alive.
This is when the wheels are falling off the bus.
What a time to be alive.
Yes.
Wow.
In another week or so. This is for you, Ross. We're in a hostile government takeover, man. And nobody cares. Anyways, yeah. We'll see you guys. This is a jam, boy.
Emily is jamming real hard.
Probably drink.
You got a little chest action. Pop it. All right, I'm done. Bye, guys.